Fifth grade, today I had you practice your shoe in your sketchbook, and some of you may have struggled, but here's a tip. You are going to take your actual shoe, and if it fits on the page, you are going to trace it. If it doesn't fit on the page, you can always do it on a little bit of a diagonal, because when we make these, we are going to cut them out. To make them look a little bit more like the size and shape, you are just going to feel along the contours of your shoe with your pencil and trace the outer edge. This will kind of give you a starting point of what your shoe actually looks like. Then, once you have that outline, you can start looking at your shoe and doing the observational drawing part of it. So if I look at this edge of my shoe on the angle, I have a part of stitching that goes on a diagonal. At the bottom of my shoe, it starts out a little thicker, but then it runs along the bottom half. I also can go through and make each of these sections look like what I can see. They kind of have a little space in between them too, so I could draw that space. And then the line above it also runs along. So my shoes seem rather plain, but if you look at all of the detail, they're not as plain as you think. So even on the diagonals or along this curve, when I look at the shoe from sideways, I might see other parts. So you want to draw those in. For instance, when I am looking at the side of my shoe from here, I can also see this panel. So on my drawing, I might go through and draw that in so that I can do the extra types of detail. I also have some laces. They come vertical, so you're looking at the shape of them, not necessarily what you think they look like, but what you can observe and see. So all along the front here, it curves and I can see it all the way through to the toe, and then I'm going to put that stitching in. So even down to the stitching and textures, you might have mesh, you might have logos. I want you to do a extremely detailed version of your shoe. When I look at my lace, it's kind of overlapping. It's not necessarily a perfect looking bow because it's in different angles, and some of it kind of comes over and up in the air. I have the cap. I want you to look inside, draw shadows. I even have like a sort of a weird texture because it's supposed to, mine aren't real leather. Well, maybe they are. I don't know. But they have that like kind of leathery cracks along inside on the skin of it. So as I look further, I'm just looking for any extra details that I can put in. Along in the laces, there are crisscross marks of where they are, how it's weaved together. I could put that texture on and so forth. So what we are doing is observing, using a traced out outline to get the proportion the correct way, and then going ahead and putting in the detail. All right, thank you for listening.